And welcome again to Cottage Talk. I am Russ Goldman. This is my preview of Fulham's match against Arsenal, my 5 keys to victory for Fulham against Arsenal. It's going to be very difficult for them to beat Arsenal at Craven Cottage. I'm going to give you my 5 keys to how they can get this done. Like I said, difficult, but you never know. It's football. Stranger things have happened. As always, please do subscribe on YouTube and Apple Podcasts. It does help other Fulham supporters find us. So just as I'm about to record this episode of Cottage Talk, I saw some breaking news, and I'm going to share it here on this episode. And it comes right from the club. It's on the club's website. Ream extends contract. I'm going to read from the article. Congratulations to Tim Ream, by the way. This is right from the article on the Fulham website. The club is delighted to announce that Tim Ream has extended his contract. The new deal will see him remain a Fulham player until the summer of 2025, by which point he would have been at the club for a decade. Speaking to FFC TV, Tim said, quote, "It's nice to get this done. To be somewhere for as long as I have, it takes a lot of hard work. To be able to say you're looking at being at a place like this for 10 years is not something that happens very often these days. To be someone who has that opportunity is a great feeling. It fills me with pride to continue to adapt, to continue this roller coaster that is football," unquote. That is great news. I had a feeling this was going to happen, so I want to just say one more time, congratulations to Tim Ream. He's going to be a Fulham player for 10 years. That's amazing. He deserves it. Let's just say he deserves it. He has been incredible over the 10 years, only gotten better with time. So in the twilight of his years, I'm glad that he is going to have this further journey with Fulham Football Club. This is good news. Now, obviously, I think that Tim starting with Fulham Football Club, we'll have to see if that continues. But I think it's wonderful to have him part of Fulham Football Club for at least another season. He deserves this. He absolutely deserves this. So I couldn't be more happy for someone that actually deserves a new contract. He does. So congratulations to Tim Ream. Great news. Again, for Fulham Football Club, for yourself, for everyone. Congratulations. Okay. So before we get to my 5 keys to victory, I just want to share some thoughts on Arsenal. If I'm going to pick a team that I would want to win the Premier League, it would be Arsenal. I wanted them to win last season. We'll see if they can do it this season. But what's interesting about them heading into this match, which way do you go on this? I watched the match against West Ham, and my first thought is, this is going to hurt Fulham because they're going to be really just even more motivated to get all 3 points. You can go in that direction. Negatively, go in that direction. Think that this is the worst thing that could have happened to Fulham, Arsenal losing to West Ham at home. I actually think it's the best thing. You got a tired team. I know they play regularly twice a week. I know that. But they're going to be coming to Craven Cottage. Fulham are dealing with some adversity. I think this is a great opportunity for Fulham Football Club playing against Arsenal in this spot. If they had won, I think actually it would have been a harder match. I think this is a better opportunity now that they have lost. Yes, they're going to be motivated, but I think that will also show even more urgency on their part. That might open up opportunities for Fulham on the counter because they might be even more into trying to score as many goals as possible, which might open up opportunities for mistakes. So for me, Mr. Positivity is back. I think the fact that Arsenal lost to West Ham, I think is actually not a bad thing for Fulham Football Club at all. I'm looking forward to the match. Arsenal is a very good side. They have a very good chance of winning the league. But we'll see what happens at Craven Cottage on Sunday. So it's a tall task. So let's go through my 5 keys to victory. Let's start with number 5, a common theme here, but this is a big one. Number 5, Marco Silva needs to win the coaching battle. I'm a big fan of Mikel Arteta, but I'm also a big fan of Marco Silva. So Marco Silva needs to set Fulham up correctly in this match. Does he go gung-ho? Does he go with his style of play? Yes, I think he's going to do that. I hope he doesn't go too gung-ho against a team like Arsenal, who could really cut you to shreds. I hope that he stays within his style, but plays this match smart. Maybe plays a little bit more defensively within his principles. He can do it. I think the starting 11 is going to show us a lot on what he goes with. I think Fulham will continue to have that identity under Silva, but I think what he needs to do is tweak his style of play a little bit more defensive. So to win the coaching battle, he needs to get the starting 11 right. He needs to set Fulham up correctly, make the right substitutions at the right time against a very good manager who was coming off of a loss. This is a difficult one. Marco Silva needs to outcoach Mikel Arteta for Fulham to get this victory. Only time will tell if that actually comes to fruition. That's my number 5. Number 4, Raul Jimenez needs to pick up where he left off before the red card. I'm going to say it right now. Raul Jimenez's red card has really just done a number on Fulham Football Club, along with William being out. But more, I think the effect has been about Jimenez, because I think he has positively affected Fulham, creating opportunities, scoring goals. He's been extremely involved, and taking him out of the mix has really just, I think, caused all kinds of problems. I don't think it's an accident that the goals have stopped going in. So for me, he needs to pick up where he left off. And I think he will. I think he's going to be very motivated to right some wrongs here. So I expect him to have a very good match and be very involved. I was just watching the highlights of the first time these teams met, and he actually was involved. So Raul Jimenez needs to pick up where he left off. Absolutely. That's why that's my number 4. Number 3, Anthony Robinson needs to contain Saka. Now, we've seen this with Jedi. He's been able to do very good jobs on some very good players going forward. All you have to do is look at how he's played Mo Salah with Liverpool. But I actually also went back to watch the highlights, and it also makes me a little bit concerned against Saka for Robinson. So Robinson needs to really be on his defensive game. I like what he's been doing going forward, but this game, I think, for Fulham to win has more to do with him doing his defensive duties. He is key in this match, containing Saka, which is not an easy thing to do. And oh, by the way, don't get too close to him, because he just might dive. Yes, he just might dive. So Jedi, be on your best. Do your job defensively, but be wary of someone, if he gets to the box, who does like to go down. Just keep that in mind. Anthony Robinson needs to contain Saka is number 3. Number 2, Fulham's counterattack needs to be lethal. Now, what's interesting about this, like I said, going back to the highlights, Fulham's counterattack against Arsenal first time was pretty good. And I think they're going to need to do that again against Arsenal. I think they're going to have these opportunities being a product of how Arsenal play. They're going to be able to go forward. They're going to create opportunities. I'm truly believe that, but they're going to have to be lethal. They are absolutely going to have to be lethal. How did West Ham win? How did West Ham beat Arsenal? Well, West Ham were very good defensively, and they're better defensively than Fulham. So I don't think we can count on that, but we can count on Fulham going forward being dangerous. Can they be lethal? They're going to need to if they want to win this match. They're going to have a chance to win it, because I think Arsenal will give them the opportunities they need, but they need to be lethal. That's why that's my number 2. Coming up next, I'm going to give you my number 1 key to victory for Fulham against Arsenal, my starting 11, what I think Marco Silva is going to do with his starting 11, and then my prediction for the match. Okay, My number one key to victory is this, and I was speaking to my friend Tony Gold, having a very good conversation, and the match can be won, can be lost, or there could be a draw based on what happens here. Fulham have to win the midfield battle, and it's going to be difficult. You're going up against Declan Rice, Odegaard, and Kai Havertz, three extremely aggressive and very good players. And I'm just saying, Fulham need to win this battle. They absolutely do. We'll see what Marco does, but we're talking Paulinho. I think it's going to be Harrison Reed. It could be Pereira. Maybe it's someone else. Maybe we're going to have a surprise. Maybe it's Sasa Lukic. Watching highlights, Sasa Lukic played very well the first time against Arsenal, I thought. How about him? There are other players that could be involved. Tom Kearney, as we know. Maybe Iwobi comes in the middle. Who knows? But they have to win the midfield battle. Have to. If they want to win, they're going to have to deal with these three players for Arsenal who are very good players. Let's just call it what it is. If they can win the battle, they might actually pull off this upset. They have it in them. Can they do it? That's the question. We'll find out during this match. Okay. So let's go to the starting 11. And my starting 11 would be this. This is going to be, I'm telling you right now, very different than what Marco is going to do. I truly believe that. This is what I would do. I'm going to go Leno. I'm going to go with Castagna, Robinson, Bassi, Tosin. This is where it gets interesting. I am going to go with this three. And actually, Tony Gold was the one that suggested it to me. I'm going to agree with him on this. I'm going to go with this. Paulinho, Reed, and Lukic playing the number 10 role. I think that could really work against a team like Arsenal. On the left, I am going to go with Iwobi on the right, Wilson, and up front, Raul Jimenez. Now, I don't think William's going to be ready to go. If he is, that changes things, and then I would have William on the left and Iwobi on the right, and you sit Harry Wilson. But I'm expecting that William will not be ready to go, so that's why I'm going with that. What I think Marco is going to do is this. I think he'll go with Leno, Tete. I think he will go with Anthony Robinson, Bassi and Tosin, Paulinho, Reed, Pereira. I think he'll go with Iwobi, Wilson, Jimenez. So it's not too different, but I want there to be a difference in central midfield because I think that's where this match can be won. I think Fulham need to be a little bit more defensive, a little bit more bite instead of being more creative. Can Marco tweak his system to be a little bit more defensive? Can he? I think he needs to against Arsenal. We shall see what he decides to do. Okay. To end the show, I'm going to share my prediction. Unfortunately, I am not feeling great about this match. I don't think that Fulham are going to win this match. I'm actually going to predict a 2-1 Fulham loss. I think they're going to be in it. I think they're going to be in it to the end, but I think Arsenal will have just too much for Fulham. So I am going with an Arsenal victory 2-1, but I think it's going to be closer than some might think. There is a potential for Fulham to pull off the upset. I'm not saying that they cannot, but if you're asking me, I'm going with an Arsenal victory. And I hope I'm wrong. And that's going to do it for this episode of Cottage Talk. As always, please do subscribe on YouTube and Apple Podcasts. It does help other Fulham supporters find us. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. My name is Russ Goldman. Thank you as always for watching and listening to Cottage Talk, part of the talkSPORT Fan Network.